YouTube, Untamed here. If you follow my channel for any length of time, you know that I owned and operated a successful nationwide auto brokerage service where I negotiated deals for hundreds of people, friends, family, and clients. In today's video, I'm going to highlight the 3 most important steps that you can follow to save thousands on your next vehicle purchase, so stick with me. Obviously, there are more than 3 steps that you can follow to maximize your next deal, but today's video, we're going to focus on the 3 most important ones that I'll save the most critical for last. Step number 1, do not go into a dealership trying to negotiate a monthly payment. That is setting you up for failure, I promise you. Go into the dealership trying to negotiate the out-the-door price. The out-the-door price with everything included, with all the additional fees, if there are fees, any kind of taxes being applied. What is that final out-the-door figure that you want for your vehicle? If you negotiate a really good out-the-door figure, your monthly payment by proxy will end up being what you want it to be, or even better. If you give them the luxury or the freedom to try to adjust your monthly payment, that gives them a lot of opportunity, a lot of leeway to still stuff in their bogus paint protection packages, all of their additional paint chip repair, their windshield repair, all these additional packages and extended warranties, all while extending your loan term duration just enough to lessen your monthly payment. But if you look at the final figure of the vehicle that you're buying, it is likely going to cost you an arm and a leg. So always negotiate the out-the-door figure for your vehicle, never the monthly payment. This brings us to step number 2. This one's a mouthful, but this is truly where the rubber meets the road and where you're going to save thousands of dollars, I assure you. So it does take a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of effort, but I assure you, if you just take a couple of hours of your life, of your day, this will be worth it. So what you need to do is you need to pick up the phone and call dealerships far away from where you live. So let's pretend you're looking for a brand new F-150 Platinum. This works for new and used vehicles, but tends to work a little bit better on new because there tends to be a little bit more options available nationwide for new. So you pick up the phone, call a dealership a few states away from where you live, and you're asking, hey, I see you have a Ford F-150 Platinum there. Are you willing to work a deal with me? I live a little bit far away from you. What is the best possible sale price that you're willing to offer me on that F-150 Platinum? Get that best deal in writing. Have them text it to you or email it to you so you have something to go off of. Have them include all of the figures, all their doc fees, all their additional bogus fees, whatever they're trying to do, and ask them for their best possible sale price. That is step number 1, and that's your starting point. From there, now you're in the game. Now you need to start calling dealerships a little bit closer to you. Pick up the phone, call another dealership a little bit closer to you that has that same F-150 Platinum that you're interested in. Say, hey, I just called a dealership not too far away from you. I'm looking to buy an F-150 Platinum. Are you willing to beat their offer? And you text them or email them their written offer that they gave you. And in my experience, having done this hundreds of times, the dealership will beat it. They'll tell them to beat it by $500 at very least, but sometimes $1,000. So always pick up the phone and keep calling dealership to dealership each time, calling one closer to where you live. And by the time that you've called 5, 6, 7 different dealerships, the hope is that you've gotten that price tag down to a point where you'd feel pretty happy with it. So you want to call your dealership in your backyard with your final offer and say, hey, I've been calling a few dealerships. This is the best deal. Are you willing to beat it? Never ask them to match it. Every dealership will likely match it. You want them to beat it. And like I said, they tend to do it by $500 or $1,000. The time you did get to the dealership in your backyard, you're telling them, this is the best deal that I've found. I would much rather keep my business local, keep my business in my backyard, and I've heard great things about you guys. Are you willing to beat this deal to make something happen today? And in my experience, they will. Say it's possible on a used vehicle, just harder, of course, because every used example is going to be slightly different. You know, if you are interested in an F-150 Platinum, maybe a year or 2 old, every single one of them is going to be slightly different. So it's very hard to compare them to one another and to get dealerships to beat previous dealers' offers because, well, it's likely a different example, different mileage, different conditions slightly, so it's harder to do. You can still do this with a trade-in, if you can believe it or not. When you're calling these dealerships, you provide them with a dozen or more photos of your trade-in, interior, exterior. Be honest and transparent with the condition of your vehicle. And in my experience, most dealerships will actually give you a sight unseen appraisal value for your trade-in. So again, you're using that same exact tactic saying, hey, here's the deal that I have. Are you willing to beat it? And you're asking them, hopefully, to try to beat the trade-in value and the sale price of the vehicle every single time. You're just constantly trying to narrow that gap between your trade-in and, of course, the sale price of the vehicle. I hope that makes sense. Do one more plug here. Based on my previous videos, some of you actually claim that some dealerships aren't willing to email or send you that written offer. I've never bumped into that issue personally, and how I approach it is, hey, are you willing to send me that written offer just so I can make sure that there's no additional fees being snuck in on me? I just want to be sure that it is what you're saying it is. And in my experience, 9 times out of 10 or more, they have sent me the written offer. And sure, they're going to be calling you afterward, trying to see, hey, are you still interested in the deal? You can say, no, I ended up finding a better option a little bit closer to me. And just you're being honest in that sense, and they'll take you off the call log, hopefully anyway. At least in my experience, they generally do it once you tell them that you bought one. Save the most important step for last, and perhaps the biggest no-brainer of it all, but so many people fail to do it. The biggest step that you can follow to ensure the best deal possible is never be afraid to walk away. And in my experience, even when I was pretty good and pretty happy with the deals that I've been seeing, walking away still saved me a little bit more. So when you walk away, I assure you, that dealership, that salesman will be blowing up your phone. They'll be calling you, trying their best to get you to come back into the dealership. We need to get you back in here. We need to get you in here to sign on the dotted line. What can we do to get you back in? And more often than not, that generally means getting a better deal, a bigger discount on the vehicle you're trying to buy, or perhaps a better trade-in value on your vehicle that you're trading in. Walking away can do wonders for your deal. But so many people are afraid to do it. They feel as though once they walk away, that deal is gone forever. If they don't buy that vehicle that day, they're going to miss out on it. That couldn't be further from the truth. Unless it's the last day of the month, generally speaking, dealers will try to play ball a little bit harder to try to move inventory before the new month roll ticks over. But if you walk away, you are going to undoubtedly save a little bit more on that deal. So I might be sneaking in one more here. It is important to know that if you wait until the end of the month, any given month, to try to negotiate a deal, that dealership will generally be a little bit more flexible and try a little bit harder to maximize the savings on that vehicle for you. So waiting till the end of the month can prove to your benefit. Now, deals are to be had. And what I mean by that is you should absolutely expect huge discounts off the MSRP in addition to getting an incentivized interest rate from the dealership. Obviously harder to do on a used vehicle. That's kind of subject to the lenders and banks. But when it comes to new vehicle inventory, expect a huge discount and that incentivized interest rate. Wrap up the video there. I wanted to make this one a little bit quicker than normal. If you would like to see more detailed videos where I talk through a few additional steps to consider to try to maximize your deal, please consider liking and subscribing. I have a lot more content where I talk through this, and really my goal is to try to put you in the driver's seat as a consumer. I want you guys to never feel as though you're being milked or taken advantage of when you go to a dealership, because let's face it, it's easy to feel that way, especially in today's day and age. So I want you to be in the driver's seat. I want you to get the best deal possible. So again, thanks for taking the time to tune in. Hope you appreciate this type of content. Until next time.